Hi, and welcome to SkatersLandingTV.com. I'm your host, Chris Bartlett. Today, we're going to talk about boot punching, boot rolling. Those are techniques that are used to give the boot a really glove-like fit. A lot of shops you may go into, or a lot of skaters, or a lot of non-skaters think if they feel any pressure point inside their boot, they've got the wrong fit. That is just not true. With boot punching, boot rolling, and heat molding, it's so possible to take that correct fitting boot and actually customize it and make it feel amazing. So I'm going to start by showing you what the tool is that we use to do this. This tool is called the Tender Spot Eradicator. That's the name given to it by its engineer, Sid Broadbent, who is of British descent. I call it a boot punch. Pretty simple for me. It's a simple product. It has several different devices. It's got a hinge and it's got a leveraged arm that we draw back on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be placing the boot into here. You can see I've got a ball, okay, which is going to help in the case of an ankle bone, a navicular bone that protrudes in the arch. I've got a cup at the top that is the negative of the ball's positive impression. Okay, we have our skaters indicate on their boots with an X any spot, be it little toe, ankle bone, inside ankle bone, bunion. The nice thing about marking the skate with an X is your mom, your dad, whoever runs your errands for you can come in. We can make you happy in your boot. When you get out of school, they meet you back at the rink or they pick you up and take you to the rink, and your boot may be a lot happier place for you to be in for your skating that day. So I'm going to start by doing this ankle bone, and I'm going to show you how it works. It's as simple as taking that X, keeping your thumb on it, sliding over the punch. I always go inside to make sure that that ball lines up with the X. X marks the spot. So we like to protect your skates and cause minimal impact or any type of marking on the exterior of the boot. So we use a couple layers of either old leather or an old tongue ripped out of the skate to protect you. We're going to come down, and you can see this is a leverage tool. It's a nice little bicep and tricep exercise. You just need to do it on the right and left if you want to be balanced. So I'm going to close that. This screw here is adjustable. Let's think of it like tightening a clamp. You can make a clamp as tight and as loose as you need. Always with boot punching, less pressure for a longer time yields a better result. But we do have a lot of people that need to run by for that quick 5-minute punch. We ramp it up, we give it a nice hard punch, they're out the door, their feet are a lot happier. Okay, so I'm going to take this and just give it a tug. That sound means that it just clicked in. This boot is just going to stay right there on that spot. For the sake of the video where I'm ramping it up, I'm going to show you in a moment that when we release it, okay, it kind of snaps out. Okay, you're going to notice that my skate has sort of a bubble on it. Okay, the other thing I like to do, because many times boot punching causes a ridge on the inside of the skate, I had an extra little thing that I've developed that my friend Vicky Zander taught me, which is rolling. I'm going to take that boot and roll it around a little bit on that punch without using any of the leverage pressure of the Tender Spot Eradicator. It just helps kind of eliminate that feeling that there's a ridge at the end. A lot of times people love the punch out, but then the next problem is we've punched this spot, so now they feel the ridge next to it. So I've had a lot of success with rolling out those spots. So you'll see in the case of this, we've really gone into that boot and created a nice pocket for that skater. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is how we deal with a toe. I'm going to change out my machine. It's that easy. Any fool can do it. So I'm going to put in this. You can see, I think that maybe looks like the shape of a little toe. You're seeing the little toe shape there? Okay, we're going to drop that just as easily into our boot punch. Okay, I'm going to come down to the X in the little toe. I'm going to slide the boot on. Meanwhile, while customers are here in the shop, we're having a nice chat about what they're having for dinner or what they like to do, or about their skating, how they're doing, how they're feeling about it. you know, this is kind of like our living room. So we hold court here and everybody talks. We like to talk about interesting things and what's going on in their life and what's going on with us. So you can see in this case, I'm coming down on that X of the toe spot. Okay, in the case of here, I don't have quite enough pressure. I'm going to lower my device. You can see a couple of twists and I've added a great amount of pressure. I find particularly with the little toe, some people's little toes really square out. So we've got a boot that's tapering, and that taper can just catch the upper corner, the outside of the little toe. Sometimes behind people's little toes, there's actually almost like a larger bump. That always has to be dealt with. So anyhow, I'm going to show you now, once I'm done with this little toe, and this is even more important than in the little toe than it was in the ankle. You can see I've got that sort of that big ridge there. I'm going to come back and forth with leveraged body pressure, not the machine leverage, and I'm going to sculpt it out, which is going to really minimize them feeling any ridge or any additional kind of pressure inside the boot. The other nice thing about it is on the outside of the boot, it really starts to blend into that point, into that draw to the toe on the boot. So I think it's always a good idea aesthetically and also pleasingly on the inside of the boot. The last step, I always take a little WD-40 because I really don't want to leave those pencil X's on the boot. Okay, so I've come in, and I know she's got old boots, but the better I can send them out looking, the better off she'll be. So we are going to be getting rid of the pencil X, and in this case, I think I'm actually leaving her with a cleaner boot. So that is boot punching basics for today. Thanks for watching SkatersLandingTV.com. Until next time, I'm Chris Bartlett.